We're just two veterans that are connecting with other veterans in the community to talk about business and all things life.
Hi, I'm John from Scott & Parker. We sell beanies, scarves and socks.
G'day, I'm Steve from Voortrekka, Australia. We're redefining the duffel bag.
And if you want to share your own service history, we have a digital platform where we will record that for you.
If you're interested in buying any of our products or interested in coming on the podcast, look at the links below in the description.
What I've discovered is if you get a totally unique product and you're a little guy startup, you just don't have the budget to educate people on the product.
Yeah.
No one knows about it, and to try and educate people and get people to buy it, it's just really tough.
Yeah.
So if you get a market where you already know, like your bags, people already know bags. So you don't have to educate them about bags. What you have to educate them is why your bag is unique.
Yes. Yeah. What makes it different?
Yeah. And that's so everyone knows they do buy bags. They've got problems with bags. This makes it just that much better.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice angle to come at.
Yeah.
Whereas to start from scratch is just too hard. And it costs too much money. If you've got a big budget, if you're a big corporate and you've got tons of money, then it's a different thing. But even you see automotive trying to educate people about EVs. They spend millions and millions, and people are still confused about EVs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you still get politicians confused. Oh, you can't go away for weekends, and you can't, all types of things.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's because it's so different to what obviously we've all been used to with, you go to a petrol station, fill up, keep driving. It's a different way of doing it with a plan, isn't it? You have to plan it out a little bit more. Yeah. But the technology also does that for you. You jump in a Tesla, it actually tells you what your plan is. So,
look, I'm not saying EVs is huge challenges with EVs. I was just using that as an example of how much they had to spend on the education.
Yeah, yeah.
And even then, there's a lot of resistance and that to it. And thanks for your, I don't know if you've seen some of those things you did. So I've been posting some of those, and they work really well.
Yeah, no, I've seen a couple of them. So are you getting some good views on them, are you, or better views, or?
I haven't really had a look. I need to check. But it's things you're just building.
Yeah.
And so my view count is starting to increase on all my stuff. That's an important thing, because when you put stuff out and you always get like 50 views, so your mates trying to be kind.
Yeah. Oh,
so you have to break through that whole thing too. It's like selling product, the beginning your mates help you.
Yeah.
But it's only when you start selling to total strangers.
Well, it's funny. My TikTok is continuing to grow. Like every day, I probably have 5 or 6 new people following. Yeah. And I probably have 10 to 20 different people liking or looking at videos and stuff like that. And I'm not doing anything there to keep promoting it. So it must obviously just be ticking over a little bit. I put more effort into Instagram only because that's where all my sales were coming from. And that's not as good a growth. It's still only probably 2 or 3 followers a day, but it's slowly ticking up as well, which is good. Yeah. So I think it's just a bit, even when you watch some of these ones that go, I grew my account, to 100,000 followers. A lot of them say it took 3 months. Like it's not like they got to 100,000 followers in a week. It was, they're like, over the next 10 weeks or whatever, I'll, grow it. And that's only when they're already big anyway. So we're just got to keep ticking away at it.
Yeah. Most of those are like 10 years.
Yes.
They don't tell you that. And they don't tell that they were doing stuff, many hours they spent on that.
Yeah. I had some guy send me a proposal yesterday, pay a subscription and then he'll help build my growth, build the followers, but it's based in America. It's not even what I'd want. Even if I was going to pay it, I wouldn't want that because I don't want my market to be all Americans. Do you know what I mean? So
but the problem too is you have to be careful because what they do is they've got a whole group of guys in India.
Yeah.
And they all like and follow your thing in that. And you suddenly have 50,000 guys.
Yeah.
Sitting in Delhi or whatever.
Yeah,
that's not going to help you. So I don't put any value in those things at all.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think you just have to get genuine, followers, like local
There was
people.
one strategy. I think it only cost. Actually, think it cost less than a dinner out or whatever, and you could easily upgrade your account so it has like 10,000 followers, but they'll all be fake. They won't be engaging followers, but you can do that to help it look like you've got a better following, because then people go, oh, he's not at 100, he's at 10,000, and then more people start following. But again, is that worth it? Is it, what does that do for the value of the brand? Do you know what I mean? Like, my thing is, the sooner I can get some bags in people's hands, hopefully that's when things start, bouncing up. So
the other thing I want to ask you, just on your Facebook, how much do you spend when you run an ad?
I haven't done any ads on Facebook yet. So
and on Instagram?
On Instagram, I like, you can do all different levels. It's just called boosting. But like, for example, the last 2 days I ran about $50 worth. It wasn't actually $50. It's just that Apple then charge you money on top. So it's like, I don't know, maybe a $10 fee on top of it. So maybe it was $40. So $20 a day. But it worked out, to be $50. But say $25 a day. And what that did was, it was going to put me in front of more people. That's all it was. And hopefully then if they click on it, it goes straight to the website. But I didn't get a single sale out of the last 2 days. So that $50 was a waste of money, to be honest. But maybe not. I mean, maybe it's the fact that it did get more people. Like, I probably had, let's say, 20 or 30 followers in the last 2 days, maybe, since that ad's been running. Maybe not that many, maybe 15 to 20. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's all, because that's what you want. You want to have long-term people that you can engage with and sell to them. So you're not doing hard selling.
Yeah.
So if you buy your product, So.
Yeah, so maybe it's not bad. Maybe by the time I go and run some more videos, hopefully whenever I get time, maybe that capitalizes, and maybe those couple of extra people that followed went, I'll buy a bag. But I only had one. Out of the last 2 days of running that ad, I've only had one message come through about the bag as well. A girl that was pretty pessimistic about the process, as in, how long is it going to take? What's the guarantee you provide? And that's all again, that's me learning, because it's making me realize that some of my ads don't have enough detail still in them. Like, as in, some people are asking about the size of the bag. I haven't actually really publicized anything. And half of that's because I don't have a website, which I'm getting closer to as well. I've got my wireframes now. I've got the basic outline of the website, but I need to finish that off as well. So,
But
it's
the thing is, you also can't put too much info on the ad, because it just overwhelms people. Then it means nothing anyway.
That's right. Yes, but
so you can't do too much on it.
And that's where the website
was simple.
The website would be important to have that up and running. I just don't have it yet. So
So that will come soon. So
it will come soon. Just a process. I mean, the nice thing, the way I approach all of my customers so far, because I'm only got 50 to 100 customers that I'm aiming to talk to. I'm taking a real personalized approach as well. It's like, here's my phone number. I'm a real person. You got a problem, give me a call. And I think that's worked really well. Like, even this girl that I've messaged me through Instagram today, I've said, you want to do a FaceTime and look at the bag? Here's my number, and that
that's
also,
a good idea.
It breaks down the barrier. I mean, I'm not going to be able to do that later on if we start getting some serious sales and serious movement, but at this early moment, I should be investing 110% into every single customer, which is what I'm doing. So you build a relationship. So
but I think that's important. And even when you get bigger, you put people in charge of doing that, and that's part of this. That's part of your business.
Yes,
because I think that's the e-commerce business. If you can break down that barrier.
Yeah.
So I've done the same thing. I'll put my phone number, got my email address on the website, and I post on all the channels. My phone number's there, the email's there.
Yeah.
And I think we have to try and break that down. And I think that's why I'm starting to understand with what you're saying, is put the face behind the imagery.
Yeah.
Because that's really important.
Yeah. I mean,
because then people will see who is this guy, that you can be trusted, because there's so many scam places on the internet.
Yeah. That's the big one. Like, your brand come across like a Nordic like your website and what you were selling initially, it's all Nordic. So people will instantly go, wait a second, that's not something that's here. It's from overseas kind of thing. And which is great because the imagery is beautiful and it all looks very professional. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't make people go, oh, wait a second. Like I've had feedback from me where people are going, gee, I love your videos because you're just speaking as a Aussie that, is putting his heart on his sleeve, and that kind of thing. They're not seeing that I'm just this weird name brand that comes from somewhere else. They're going, oh, wait a second, I like that guy. He served my country. He's done this. He's done that. And that's where I guess I didn't really mean to do that. It's just that's what I felt comfortable doing because I wasn't comfortable with the aesthetic, beautiful imagery that my rawness is now part of my brand and I've just got to go with it. so, and I think what you're realizing is that, wait a second, that's probably a good model as well, rather than going for the aesthetically pleasing one, because that maybe is too much of a barrier.
Yeah, it's just building that trust.
Yeah, and people can't relate now.
I think that's through this whole storytelling. How do we engage and build trust with people?
Yeah, and I think even the fact that we're teaming up, I think people will see that I'm in your video, but I'm also in the podcast, and they're going, oh, wait a second, I see that this other guy is also trusting this group, like it builds that connection as well.
Yeah. Well, that's a podcast done.
We're done.
Switch off. What you said there, seriously, what we've talked about for the last 10 minutes, I think that's just, you can make a little podcast in its own.
You could cut a bunch of stuff because we've talked about a whole bunch of little, different things in business and just tried to be real, and we've just tried to talk about, what we're trying to do. And we don't have all the answers at the moment. We're just trying to mold it to what we think will work. So what we have in the future planned for the podcast is a few more services that are going to be coming in to talk to us, John. We have Homefront Australia, which are a service-based company where they actually solve a lot of your in-house problems like gardening, support for cleaning, cleaning windows, those kind of services, which what it does is it gives us an organisation that's invested in trying to deal with DVA and also the relationship with the cleaners. And that all that stress gets taken away from the veteran if they're entitled to that support. So they do a lot more than that. So I can't wait to talk to Cyan and David Ballantyne about that when we have an upcoming episode with them. But also we have Andy and Zoe from PTSD Resurrect, which are a company that supports obviously veterans and other emergency services personnel, I believe, with coping with PTSD and the effects of trauma. So they have an awesome non-for-profit organisation that they look to come onto the show and talk to us about what they can offer our veteran community as well.
That sounds great, Steve. I really look forward to that.